Hello, welcome back. I've got another little video here for anyone interested in accordion repair, I guess. So I've got this lovely Hohner Arietta on the bench. Now this is one that I showed a little while back, and it had some stuck bass buttons, and when I took it apart there were some loose reeds inside there as well. So what I did, I found all the loose reeds, and now all of the reeds have been put back, taken out, cleaned and replaced any broken ones. So all of the reeds for this accordion have now been done. So just show you what these look like. So that's good. So they're waiting to go back in, but that's all nice. But now I've got another issue to deal with, and that's the bass panel on the bass side. So the panel that you can undo and get to see the bass mechanism for the Stradella bass. Now the bass panel on this is in a bit of a mess. I'll show you. I should just make that there. I might just zoom in a bit as well. There we go. So bass panel. So it all looks nice there, and then you get to here, and I've actually had to tape it in because the screws are all knackered and everything else. So what I'll do, let me just take off the bass strap from there, just to make it easier to see what's going on. Take that out. And I've actually had to hold this in with tape. Actually, I'll zoom back out a little bit because you can't really see what I'm doing. This was held down with tape just for temporarily reasons. So let me just undo this tape, show you what kind of deal we've got going on here. And how I propose to sort it out. Yeah. It's good to use electrical tape because it's sticky enough but it doesn't leave any residue, which is good. So you don't want any kind of... Oh god. Right, so it's got a bit of dust in here. Oh my goodness. So the mechanism's working fine because we've got that working last time. Now the bass panel itself, it's got two feet here, and then these two are broken off, and the wood is all just chipping and splintering, and it's not very nice really. And you've got some extra holes here. So what I'm going to have a go at doing, because this is in such poor shape, is make a new one. So what I've got is some nice plywood, and it's about the same thickness as the bass panel, so that's good. And what I'm going to do is trace around this onto the piece of wood, and then I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to put some new feet, 4 new rubber feet on the bass panel. So this is going to be quite a bit of fun really, just having a chance to do a bit of woodwork. So what I might do is take off these little pieces of netting thing, because I think I'm going to put those, I can reuse those if they'll come off. If not, I've got some more. So take them off nice, which they are, like so. I think I'm going to reuse them because they'll be quite good. Right, so let's have a look at this. This needs to go in a certain way, so that needs to go that way. And the one thing I've noticed is on this edge here, it's got kind of a little groove channel there, so I might have to do a bit of routing just along to get that same profile. But I think I'm going to go for this. So first thing is just put this carefully out of the way, because I don't want to get any damage onto that base side, so just put that carefully to one side so that's not going to get damaged. And I've got my piece of wood, and first thing I'm going to do is kind of trace around it, and I'm going to cut this out with a kind of I've got a special kind of band saw thing in my shed, so I'm going to cut it out. So I'm going to leave quite a nice gap around there, just because it's, if you go too close to the edge, then it's very difficult to cut, because you've got to get that quite close to the cutting blade. So if you leave yourself a generous gap, then it's a little bit easier to cut it out. So let's get a nice sharp pencil, like so, and just going to draw around to get correct outline. There we are. And while I'm here, I'm going to just do the circles as well, because I'm going to cut those out as well. I'm going to drill those out. So what I'll do, I've got it in place, draw around them, inside them, so that I know where I'm going to be putting yours. Have I done them all? Hope so. Quite a few of these little thingies. And the most important one, really, is also the hole for the air release button. I'll do an extra special hole to draw in for that one. Here we go, that's looking nice. So I think this is going to be good, because this is pretty ropey, and I think it'd be nice to have a brand new one. So now I've got that template drawn onto here, the next step is to cut it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it out on my little special saw, is just cut it past the line all the way around, and then I can then sand it exactly to shape. Okay, so next thing is take this down to my workshop in my shed, and I'll show you a bit more when I get. Okay, so just back in my workshop outside now, and I've got my wood with it all mapped out on it. And so the next thing I'm going to do is to get onto my special little saw here. I'll just show you this. There we go, just there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this out, cut the outline of this out on here. So I'm just going to get some ear protection on and see how we go. Here we go, let's get this all ready. It's going to be noisy. like that. Whew. Okay, so that's fine. So now I've got this, and the next step is to get my sander, and I'm just going to go up to the pencil line on here. So what I've got is just a standard kind of, I don't know what you call it, orbital sander. So this is going to get a bit noisy, so I don't think I'll film this bit. It is just a noisy. All I'm going to do is going to get this and get that back to the line. Okay, so what I've done, I've got it to the pretty close to the line. I've just offered it up to the base side, and just to see how it fits, I've just got some bit extra to go, so I'm just going to do a bit more sanding to get it right down to that line, and so it nicely fits into the space. Okay, so I'm going to keep going with that. Okay, so here we have the base panel now cut out. So I've taken quite a lot of time to make sure that it's a nice fit. So I don't know, like a dry fit. Oopsie, it's difficult on the camera, but make sure I've got a nice fit into the base side. So that's good. That's really worth doing that. Now the next step is to drill the holes which I've marked. One for the base, the air release button, and also for the holes which allow the air into the base side of the accordion. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to my drill and get that ready. So let me just put this down for a second. Put that down like that. So I'm going to move the camera over to the drill and show you. Okay, so I've got my pillar drill set, and I've got an 8mm drill in there, and so now I'm just going to carefully drill out the holes that I've marked in pencil. So let's have a go. Let's turn it on. First one, and that was the air release button, so I'm just going to double check that fits. So that air release button, that needs to be a tiny bit bigger, so I'm going to find one more size bigger. Okay, so here we go. So that's now the holes drilled. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to tidy up some of the edges, just make sure get any kind of chips and burrs and stuff nice and neat, and I'll show you that. And then the next stage will be to paint it. So let me just do a bit of tidy. Okay, so I've just done a little dry fit. So There we go. So that's the air button there, and that's all the holes, and it's just a nice neat fit. I'm really pleased with it. I think it looks really nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint it. So I've got some black spray paint, so I'm going to give that a nice paint, and so I'll get that ready and I'll show you that when I'm ready. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a couple of coats of black all-purpose paint, making sure I get the edges as well. Okay, so that's the first coat, and I'll leave that for about an hour and come give it a second. Alrighty, so things moving on nicely. So I've managed to paint the new grille. Let's just bring it down, just see if you can get a better picture of that. So I've painted the new grille, and it looks like this. I've done both sides just to make it look really nice. I'm very happy. It's a matte finish. I didn't realise when I bought the paint, but I don't mind. There's more of a matte than a gloss, but I just think it looks really nice. And so this is the old one, and so it's got just two of the feet are broken off that side, and these ones are on, and the wood is all chipping here. There's a nasty hole here, and so that's the old one, which didn't look that great, and this is the new one, which I think looks a lot better. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to show you how it fits onto the base side. So let me just angle this down a bit so you can see what I've got. Bring it round like this. There we go. So I've got the base side. So just going to make sure I catch hold of the base button. Not the base button, the air button, before I move it into place. There we are, and that's the base panel nicely in, so I'm really pleased. I think it looks really nice. I think it looks more stylish than the other one being matte. It just looks more stylish. So the next step is to think about, also double checking that the air release button is in the right place and the hole, and that's working perfectly well. So the next step is to think about how I'm going to fix this onto the base side. And one way of doing it, which is quite common, is to use the feet, which have screws going through them, as a fixing for the base panel, which is what I'm going to do. So I've got these 4 feet that I've just kept from an accordion that I didn't fix. So these are looking nice, all the same. All in really good shape with nice, quite long screws to go with them. So what I'm going to do is arrange them on the base panel, and then first of all work out where they're going to go. So I need to make sure that I'm going into the part of the base panel which I can screw into, which would be these bits here and these bits here. And the other thing I want to do is to make sure I don't go into the old screw holes. Just there's one there and there's one there, and I think that's about it actually. But what I'm going to do is mark with some tape where I want the feet to go. So I'm just going to put it on here, so I'm going to mark it and put a line in the middle on the outside. So I want one to go here, there. Actually, I might bring that across. Want to go there, and then go the same distance away from the corner, just there. And so now I'm just making a note of where, so when I put the base panel back on, I can make some marks as to where I need the holes to be. It's exciting. So let's go for the same distance away from the edge, which is there. Okay, so I'm going to go, now we know where I'm going to go. I need a pencil. Where's my pencil gone? Here it is. So I'm just going to do a little line in the middle of that tape. So that's telling me where I want the hole to be. And then what I can do, put the base panel back on, make some marks as to where I want the holes to be. Nice, snug fit. I'm pleased with that, it fits really, really well. So now I've got my markings, so I know I want to make a hole here, there, and everywhere. No, that's a Beatles song. There. Okay, so I've got my 4 little crosses. So now I'm going to drill some little tiny holes ready for the screws to go through. So to do that, I'm going to go down to my little workshop. I won't film, I'm just going to get my drill and just drill some tiny little holes in those 4 spots, and then have a little look at the fitting the feet. So I'll be back in a second when I've just drilled 4 little holes. Right, so I've drilled my little 4 holes. You can't see them probably, but they are there. So what I'm going to do now is offer it back up. Just make sure I catch the air button. Actually, I can take the tape off now. Let's take the tape off, I don't need that. And that will just get in the way slightly. And then I'm going to put it back on, and I'm going to make some little pilot holes with the same size of drill, because these screws are quite long, and I'm just going to give a little hole, pilot hole here and here all around, so that the screws will now go in straight and without too much force. But you don't want to drill too much of a pilot hole, because then the screws won't tighten properly. So just a little pilot hole just to get them started is a good thing. So let me just offer this up again. There we are, looking nice. So now I'm just going to very carefully just drill a little pilot hole. In fact, I might go for a slightly smaller drill on this one, because I really don't need much. So I've got a selection of small drills. So it's always good to have a collection of small drills in this business, because they're very, very, very useful. They can also be used when you're trying to drill new holes for your bellows pins. There we go. Just tighten it down. Right, here we go. Just nice and carefully. Beautiful. Just got some sawdust in my tea. Don't mind. Right, so the next thing, nearly finished actually, so once I've got these, oh lovely sawdust in my tea, that's nice. Once I've got these base feet on, I'm just checking that they fit okay. The last thing I'm going to do is put some new kind of grill cloth on the back of this, and that's done. So but let's just check these feet first. Oopsie. Ah, beautiful. Very nice. Right, so just need a little flathead screwdriver. Let's just put these in and see what they look like. Okay, this is taking quite a lot of actually turning actually, so I might on the next ones I might just that needed quite a lot of tightening, so what I might just do is just extend these ones a little bit more. Just to make it a little bit quicker. Get some more sawdust in my tea. Very important. Right. That's better. Tidy. Right. This is looking good. Yeah, lovely. Okay, so I'm really pleased because those feet have gone on really nicely. So the base panel now just looks nice and neat, and just to make sure, there you go, so it all stands nicely. So that's really nearly it, but now the last little job is to cut some grill cloth and pop it on, because I don't want just to have open holes here, because any dust and anything could get into that and then get into the Stradella mechanism inside here, which I really don't want. So you need to have something to stop the stuff getting in. So now we're going to take these off, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take them off in the right order, because now I've got them in, just in case you've got slight differences in screws and angles and things, I'm just going to make sure I put them in the same order when I put them back on. So just put these nicely over here. 2, 3. Quite good at me counting. 4. Right, so next step then, I'm going to take this off carefully, put the base side just away for a second while I just do the next step. So the next step, I did think about using the old grill cloth again, but I think I'm just going to put a new one, because I think it's worth it. I think it'll fine. Just need to blow some more sawdust into my tea. There you go. Away, and drop the screwdriver. Hey, come here. Right. Let's get some bellows cloth, grill cloth. So this is my tried and trusted needlecraft fabric. So that's the front, so let's go to the back. So I need to mark. I'm going to put that one, I'm going to do 2 pieces, so one's going to go there. Finish. So this is going to be so this is now going to go at an angle to there. Don't see that needs to go. That's it. So now I've just drawn my pencil where I'd like that one to be. I now cut that out. There we go. Whee. So hopefully, if I've done my, there we go. So that will now fit on like that. And hopefully if that's the same, which it is, I'll just draw around this one. And cut that one as well. There. Minimize the wastage. There. Perfect. Right, so I'm going to cut them out, and then the last little step is to get some super glue and just glue these on. And then it'll be job done. So this is the first time I've done this, and I have enjoyed doing it, and it's been fine really. But one of the biggest things I found is that having a pillar drill really helps just to get some nice straight even holes in here. So you could do it with an ordinary drill, but you'd have to just, it would take a bit longer, you have to be a bit more careful, and having that pillar drill just made it so much easier really. So thanks to my brother who managed to get me that. He picked it up for a £5, so that's not so bad. Right, so that's all good. That's that. And just to show you what it looks like with the, no I won't actually, I'll show you what it looks like when I've glued it. Right, so super glue time. And this is just Loctite super glue, and I'm just going to run it around the edges and in between. I just be as careful as I can because I don't want to get it in the holes. Right, here we go. I'm going to go up there and there, down here, oopsie, on there, and just put some little dots. In middle. Right, just put it up. Hold it down without sticking your fingers to it. Ah! It always happens, your fingers end up sticking to the core. Here we go. Here we go, and I'll just do the other one as well. Funny, with this super glue you can feel it generating heat as it's drying. Got a little bit of overlap there, but that doesn't matter. Just keep the fingers moving so they don't get stuck. Ah! I've just realised something. I forgot about the air release button, so I'm going to have to cut that out in a minute. I forgot all about that. So, in my hurry, so I'm going to have to cut that out. So what I might do actually, while it's still not completely dry, is just cut that corner. That's a silly mistake. There we go. But easily rectified. Yeah, I forgot all about that. Yeah, I need to leave that clear for the air release button to go through, but I've just cut the corner there. Brilliant. So I'm going to leave that to dry just a few minutes so that that glue's all just completely gone off. And then the last little step is to put this back on, and I'll show you what it all looks like. Okay, give me a few minutes for this glue. Alrighty, so all that's left now is to put the base panel back on. So I've got the base side here. Let's offer up this base panel now and pop that on. So just make sure we catch that air button. Beautiful. There we are. So just got to put these back in, put them back in the same order, just in case. Where's my screwdriver? There it is. There we go. One new base panel fitted to this Hohner Arietta. So that's all gone really nicely, so I'm really pleased with that. So that's just, I think it looks quite stylish. All in nice condition, got some nice base feet on there just to round it off. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I hope you found that useful, and yeah, that's it really. How to make a bass side panel thing, doobie doop. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I need to crack on with this because this is just a restoration that I'm still working on, but there we are. Thank you for watching.